That was in 5 different counties before 16 different judges and against 47 different defense attorneys. This gave me the opportunity to learn, to gain knowledge of the judges throughout the circuit, the attorneys in the circuit, the clerk's office, the judicial system, workload management, caseload movement. I have been in the trenches effectively working public service with the state attorney's office, trying cases of sexual battery, murder, carjacking, home invasion, arson, drug offenses, theft offenses, embezzlements, white-collar crime, dogfighting, campaign finance fraud, amongst many others. This is what I provide in contrast to my opponent. My opponent likes to say that he has more Florida experience. But I have tried more jury trials in 1 year than my opponent has in his entire 23 years practice in Florida. The amount of time in Florida does not necessarily indicate experience. A circuit judge is a trial court judge. And that's where the people's business takes place. Not only felony criminal trials, capital criminal trials, any legal dispute regarding money over $15,000, estates, family law, including divorce, custody, everything that is important to the community. That's what the trial court does. And he does it in the courtroom. My practice, my living is made in the courtroom, not in the office. That's what I provide. Prior to coming to Florida and working for the state attorney's office for over 12 years, I practiced in Pennsylvania. That's where I had a general practice which involved more than just criminal law. I tried cases in civil law, personal injury, contract, family law, divorce, tax law, bankruptcy law. I've practiced cases in the state court system and also within the federal court system. I have a very broad range of experience within the courtroom. Outside of the legal profession, what is important to me is family, faith, and community service. Family. I have a wife of 17 years. We've had 5 children, 4 surviving. One of our children has special needs. She's 16 years old. Because of that, my wife and I both involve ourselves within community service, mainly within the special needs community. We work for an outfit in Volusia County called Spark of Volusia that provides recreational, social activities for the special population. The main thing that we do is we are race directors for a race that's run every April called Run for Spark. It's a 5K running race. We're pretty much the chief cook and bottle washers, and that is the main fundraising source for Spark. We're not just board members in the community, but we also actually get out, get our hands dirty, and actually work for the community.
Thank you so much, Mr. Craig. Are there any questions from the audience at this time? We have one person coming to the microphone.
Hi. You were talking about your morals and feelings in your family. Have you ever, your feelings or moral beliefs influence on your cases, on your judgments?
Okay. You know, what a judge has to do, and the main job the judge has to do, is you have to follow the law. Whether you personally agree with the law or disagree with the law. Now, as an attorney, your main job is to be an advocate for your client. So, for example, when you're out in private practice and you are representing a defendant that committed a crime, you know committed a crime. However, it's your job to be that person's advocate, to make sure that that person receives a fair trial, to make sure that the state proves its case beyond a reasonable doubt. Not necessarily to make sure that you win something on a technicality, but to make sure that things are fair and to do the best for your client. And that's whether you agree with what your client did or didn't like what your client did. You're in a position to be able to advocate for that position. And that's quite frankly what makes the system work, is the ability for lawyers to get up and do that. But generally you're really not placed in a position too often where you have a moral dilemma, and if you ever do, that's a position where you can step aside and allow somebody to come in and take over for you.
Thank you so much. Are there any other questions from the audience? Well, Mr. Craig, I really appreciate you coming out and speaking, and we look forward to the election coming up.
Thank you very much.
Let's give him a great hand.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.